Hello, and welcome to Stream, a NASA website for remote sensing water quality. If you're finding the website through the video and not the other way around, the link should be in the description. Here on the homepage, you'll find a brief description about the satellites that we use, the products that we cover, and a little bit of background about the site in general. The other pages are the archive, where you can download the full resolution product maps directory style, a search page for browsing and navigating the archive by tile ID, and the interactive web map. On the map page, you could go ahead and enter in information like the satellite, the product that you're interested in, and the date in order to select the layer manually. But if you're trying to find data from scratch, it's probably easiest to zoom into an area of interest, enable one of the two satellite grids, and then you can go ahead and click the tile ID that's most closely associated with the region that you're interested in. And you can see that will take us to the search results page. Really quickly though, a couple of edge cases. If your region is close to a border here, where you can see on the left we have all of the 17 IDs, and on the right we have the 18 IDs. If you're seen as near one of these edge cases, then the coverage for that tile can be a little bit spotty. Also, depending on the size of your water body and how it relates to the path that the satellite travels in a given day, the data for that water body may be split up across multiple days. That happens a lot with the Great Lakes, for example, but depending on where you're looking, it can happen for even smaller water bodies. So going ahead and clicking again on this tile, we can see the results that we have for that tile. And we could go ahead and download the individual full resolution data for that individual tile that we clicked on. However, we can also click the map link to go back to the map, and now it will load in all of the data for that product for that satellite and date. So zooming back in, we can uncheck the grid now if we want to. You can see as we zoom in, it will increase the resolution of the map up to the maximum of 20 meters per pixel for Sentinel or 30 meters per pixel for Landsat. And on the right-hand side where we have the layer menu, you can see that as I move my cursor around, I get a live readout of the value for that pixel. If we expand the options, we can also play around with the color bar in order to change the coloration of the layer. And we can play with the opacity relative to other layers or the background as well. On the note of other layers, we can go ahead and add, let's say for the same date, we want to add a different product map. So let's add the total suspended solids. And you can see here that we can also reorder the layers. Same thing now, we can also change the color for this layer individually. You can see we can flick back and forth between the two or outright hide the layers altogether. And when you have multiple layers overlapping, you will get the live pixel readout for both layers. Now, because on the interactive map, the layers are stitched together across a given date, you're not limited to just the data for the tile that you clicked on to get here. So you can see that depending on the path the satellite took on this day, we can get data all across the country. Now, the biggest limitations to loading in data for the map are going to be weather. Heavily clouded pixels will cause data to be masked out. You can see where there's gaps, but even thinly clouded pixels can lead to erroneous values. One of the feature improvements that's coming to the site hopefully soon will be uncertainty mapping. We'll use high uncertainty to automatically mask out some of these pixels that are likely just we're reporting on cloud and not water. But we'll also include it as a product for you to be able to make that determination yourself. In the meantime, one other helpful tool you can use to see if the data you're seeing on the map is good or not is the True Color Composite or RGB product. That will give you an idea of the cloud cover at the time the satellite picture was taken. And you can use that to determine if what you're looking at is good data or if weather precluded it from being an accurate measurement. Otherwise, that's all for this video. You can contact me directly via my email, or you could leave feedback on our feedback form here at the bottom of the homepage.